Hey traders, Nick Shane here looking at a couple of pot stocks. So another bad day in ACB, for example. It lost footing and is fulfilling technically what would happen once they lost that ledge up there. I remember in the last couple of videos I noted that CGC, for example, was holding up better, relatively speaking. ACB is down 9%, but CGC today is down a lot less. I think 2% last time I checked, but we'll check the chart in a little bit. So once the tightness resolved itself here, we thought we had a floor, and if somebody was long it, the stop out level was as soon as you lose that floor, trapdoor opens. And usually they shoot down and they test the prior bounce levels. Now the bad news here is that they went past it on the first effort. First they tried to bounce exactly where it bounced last time. Didn't last long. So here's a little tip. Usually on bad days when you have a huge trend down, I don't try to catch upticks. They are usually fake outs. So any uptick in a downtrend is usually a reason to sell, not to say, okay, this is it, it's going to recover from here and start long again, because then you get caught in another wave lower. So here we are, another low. So I don't know if I can pin another level below this. I can't. It's just, well, let me see here before I say I can't. Whoops, what the heck happened here? Okay. All right, never mind. I was trying to zoom in on this little portion. So where it is right now, it throws it back into, a few years back. So I'm not sure how solid of a level it is. So from here, whoa, pretty heavy volume. Don't know what happened today. But anyway, so from a trading perspective, I don't know if I can trust any level here as, okay, this is it, this is where it's going to hold, because it lost the last bounce level. So trade accordingly. If somebody took a long, they need to have an out as soon as they take a long. Why they took the long and where do we get out? How much pain am I going to take before I pull the trigger on it? So same with the short. If I took a short, I have to know where my stop out level is. So in this case, the only thing I can do, okay, if I started long here and I didn't get out here, back even maybe is my stop out level. It all depends on personal preference and objective. If somebody's going long it for a long time, then they don't need to worry about it because the thesis is still the same from yesterday to today. CGC, relatively speaking, let me reset this chart. So go down to half an hour. Yeah, okay, for now. So relatively speaking, holding up better just from the standpoint of report card, minus 2.5%, 2.4% versus the other one minus 9%. More importantly, still holding the level it held last time. The bad thing is I just added this white. In my last video, I did not have this white line. If they lose it, estimate is they want to test it lower. I had drawn it here just because this was the pinpoint level from which it broke out, and they would fill that whatever gap there was here. This would do the same. So whether here or here, it doesn't matter. It needs to hold or out. So how does that happen usually? If you look at it, it'd probably be something like an inverse cup and handle here. All this, by the way, is not trading plan for anybody to take it as a trade alert. All this is just me interpreting the chart. So if I saw a bounce here, I don't start chasing it here. I would want to see it at least go above here. If not this point of control for the short period of time, best above there. So if I were to look for trigger alerts, either this one or the loss of that one. So this one would be like an inverse head and shoulders, and if the bears are able to do this, then this might ensue. Otherwise, it might be another bounce. You got lower highs holding the floor, and if the floor holds, then they bounce higher. But again, not all the way to the moon. They have to go through all these resistance levels I just noted earlier. So everybody trades differently. Everybody has different objectives. Everybody has different risk tolerance. So I would know mine before I start doing anything like that. Clearly, this didn't happen. No follow through. This hasn't happened yet. We still have a tightening situation coming to a point. I guarantee you something will happen soon enough. So this is my opinion. Once the price action gets to be pinpoint from a really wide range, somebody's going to win over the other person. One side is going to win over the other. Buyers or sellers are going to overwhelm the one side or the other. So if I were trading CGC, I'd better be looking out at different time frames. So this is a 30-minute chart. I would want to look at 5 minutes and 15 minutes. It all depends on how fast I'm trading. So one level to look at is this level here, which was a prior emphatic bounce level. Kind of didn't hold, completely didn't hold. So going back at it, going into it is resistance, and that's that white level that they needed to hold because it was the last bounce level. So clearly I put the line a little bit too low, so I can be true to myself and bump it up a little higher. If I were trading, I would probably put a trigger alert and say, hey, wake me up when this happens. So I'd pay attention and wake me up when the upside happens. So it depends where my upside is. In this case, I want to put one here. So these are two interesting levels. This is definitely one, but it's just too short for my personal preference. I'm not trading it that fast or at all this week. This is a short week, low volume, anything can happen. I don't want to fight that fight. So these are two that I looked at today. I don't know if I have time to look at another one, 15 minutes, 30 minutes. This is kind of like CGC. Aphria needs to hold recent level. It's holding above recent bounces, which is good, better than ACB. How about Cronos? Even better. This one is green-ish. And it was the other one? What was? Nope. Okay, so Cronos is holding up best today and attacking prior bounce level. I mean, fail levels. So if they take out the fail levels, then they become triggers up. So I can target this one right there and put a trigger there, 7.1, let's call it, would cover this also, and that. So we have 3 pokes that are under attack here. So if you look at it here, I wonder what's going on here. So this is bullish action. They tried to pin him down. They succeeded in pinning them down further. The third effort failed miserably compared to this one. So presumption is if they go do this, they can start climbing up, and the upside target would be about this much. So say above here. But this will be resistance. So I would expect resistance here. Definitely those two things are what? Resistance up there. So short-term trading, this would be an opportunity to watch. How would I trade it? Depends on my risk appetite. I can put an alert here, wake me up when this happens, and I'll be a little bit late, but better be late than early and grab a handful of reds. All right, Nick signing out.